All right, let's dive into a topic that has been absolutely everywhere lately, generative AI. We're going to break down what it really is.
I mean, it's pretty hard to miss, right? You've seen the term Gen AI popping up all over the place. In the news, on your social feeds, in the apps you use every single day. The buzz is absolutely real. Okay, but with all that hype, what are we really talking about? Let's cut through all the noise for a second and get right to the heart of what this technology actually does.
So here it is in a nutshell. Think of generative AI as a special kind of artificial intelligence that doesn't just analyze stuff that already exists. It actually creates brand new, totally original things from scratch just based on a simple instruction you give it.
And when we say content, we mean, well, pretty much anything you can think of. We're talking about text, like writing an email or even a poem. We're talking about incredible images, entire pieces of music, complex computer code, heck, even videos. The possibilities are just staggering.
And it's often as simple as this. You give it a little nudge, a prompt like, write me a story about space. And here's the cool part. It doesn't go find a story online. It literally writes a new one, just for you, right then and there. Or maybe you're more of a visual person. You could ask it to draw a futuristic city, and boom, an image that has never existed before in the history of the world is suddenly right there on your screen. This is where you really start to feel that creative power.
Now this, right here, this is the key difference, the big aha moment. See, traditional AI is like a brilliant detective. It sifts through tons of existing data to find patterns and make predictions. But generative AI, it's more like an artist. It doesn't just interpret the world, it actually adds something new to it. It's the difference between reading every book in a library and writing a brand new one to put on the shelf.
I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds a bit like magic, doesn't it? So how does it actually work? How does a machine learn to be, well, creative? Let's peel back the curtain a little bit. It really boils down to this three-step dance. First, it's trained on a truly mind-boggling amount of data. Think billions of articles, photos, and lines of code from across the internet. Second, by poring over all that information, it starts to learn the deep patterns, the unwritten rules of human language, art, and even logic. And finally, it uses that incredible understanding to generate something completely new that follows those same patterns but is totally original.
And you know what? This isn't some far-off science fiction thing. I'd be willing to bet you've already used it. Ever asked ChatGPT for help with an email? Or seen those incredible wild images made with DALL-E or Midjourney? Yep, that's you, tapping into the power of generative AI.
And its impact is already massive, and it's growing faster every day. It's totally changing the game for how we learn things, how we create art, and even how we get our jobs done. This isn't just another new tool. It feels more like a whole new way of doing things. And that's really the big idea here. At its best, this technology is like an amplifier for our own abilities. It's a creative partner that helps us write faster, design smarter, and honestly, just imagine bigger than we could before. But of course, a technology this powerful and this new doesn't arrive without some serious stuff to think about. In fact, it's forcing us to step back and ask some pretty fundamental questions. I mean, it really makes you wonder, what even is creativity now? What does it mean for something to be original? If a machine creates a beautiful piece of art, who's the artist? And, maybe most important of all, how do we make sure we use this incredibly powerful tool responsibly, for good? I think this quote just nails it. This whole revolution, it's not really about the code and the algorithms. It's about a new kind of creativity. It's about human imagination getting a massive power-up from machines. So where does all this go from here? Well, that's the most exciting part. Nobody knows for sure. The story of generative AI is being written in real time. It's a future that isn't just happening to us. It's a future that we are all building right now together. So the real question is, what are you going to create with it?